You ever wondered why, when you gave something your all, it still didn't work? When you tried your hardest, you still had no results? The answer is more simpler than you think. And the answer might actually save you time, or it might make you work even harder. But the answer is you don't work your hardest, you do what works. You don't give your all, you give what works. It doesn't matter how hard you try, how much you do. If you're doing something that doesn't work, you won't get any results. And I think that's the simplest way to put it. When you learn this, it will save you so much time and energy, or it will make you rethink and say, I've been doing way less than what I need to. But it doesn't matter if you've been giving your all or not giving enough. You just need to do what works. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter exactly the amount of hours you put in, the amount of effort you put in. If what you're doing doesn't get you closer to that goal, it doesn't give you results that correlate with that goal, it doesn't work. Stop doing that. Find a different route. If you're trying to lose weight and you're working out every day, 8 hours a day, you're putting the work in. You go to the gym 3 times a day. You work out at home when you're not at the gym. It doesn't matter what. But if you're eating 4,000 calories, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how much time or if you give it your all. You have to do what works. You have to diet. Same with the YouTube. It doesn't matter if you put out 10 videos a day. If none of them catch the algorithm, if none of them are SEO optimized, if none of them can grab attention, if none of them can, the audience can't relate to none of them, then it doesn't matter. It's not going to pick up. You need to do what works. Stop putting all your energy in the garbage, because that's what you're doing when you give something your all instead of just doing what works. There's been times where I've made 20 videos in a day. There's been time where I made 20 videos in a day and I watch all of them. I'm like, none of these videos feel right to me. And it's because I'm just trying to do something that's not there. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make 20 videos instead of just making 1 or 2 videos that I personally like. Because if I personally like it, that means someone else will like it. But a lot of you don't like your results, but expect other people to respect your results. When do something right, do what works, and you can tell when it works. And if you can't, you have to get with someone in that specific environment and ask for help. Whether it be mental health, physical health, financial, whether it be relationships, it doesn't matter what it is, cars, you know what I'm saying? Computers, finding a job. It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever it is. It can be cooking. But if you can't figure out what's right, what works, you have to find someone who does know and work with them. Or if you do know what works, then back up, calm down, get grounded, rethink, reset, and restart. And do what works. Instead of adding all this extra. You can definitely add your little flavor in there. You know what I'm saying? When you season food, you cook chicken the way you're supposed to cook chicken, but you add your little flavors, because if you do a little more, it might be burnt. But if you do a little less, it might be raw. But you can definitely add your flavors, but don't make it too salty. It's kind of like everything else. You do it the way it's supposed to be done, but don't do too much. Don't do too little. But also don't oversaturate it. Don't put too much in it that doesn't need to be there. Everything's going to be the same. You do what works, not what pleases you. You don't put all your effort into something and then you think that is good enough, but you didn't even do it right. So that's the biggest lesson that you're going to have to take away from this. But that correlates to everything else. That correlates to the after process, the success following one. When you put all your work into something and then put it out there. For example, if I put all my effort into a video, but I didn't do what works. Okay, I put it out. I get 10 views. Then you do the same thing, 12 views, same thing, 15. So even though you're consistently going up in small amounts, you're not doing what works. You're just being consistent. But if you did what works, you go from that 15 view to 100, from that 100 to 150, from that 150 to 200. You can grow small, but it doesn't matter how consistent you grow. You want to grow fast. If you can grow faster, be humble and stay consistent, stay steady. Slow and steady wins. But you always want to grow as fast as you can. So if you can grow faster, then you want to do that. If you can put out better quality, you want to do that. Just because something is working doesn't mean it's right. You have to put out the best quality that you can. And that doesn't mean putting your all into it. That means doing what works. Doing the type of style that works. Doing what will gain attention and gain traction. Doing what people will find appealing. If it's not appealing to you, it won't be appealing to nobody else. But if it is appealing to you, it still might not be appealing to anybody else. But if you know you're doing something right, then it will be. You have to figure out, how can you know? That's just a matter of learning. Stop being ignorant, because a lot of failures come from ignorance. A lot of failure comes from not wanting to learn. A lot of people think that can't nobody know more than you. That's like you saying LeBron doesn't know how to play basketball when all you've ever done is play it on the middle school court. Yeah, the people know more than you, and you have to accept that first. Once you can accept that and stop being ignorant, you can learn. And then you can learn what works. And then you can say, this is what works. This is what I've been doing. Even though I've been putting my all into this, this has nothing to do with this. All my effort here has nothing to do with what works here. And then you're going to find out correlation and say, all right, this is what works. Let me put it into my all. Don't put your all into what works. Put what works into your all. Put what works into your all. That's what matters. What matters is you still keeping your originality, being different, being unique, but just adding what works to it, as opposed to take what works and putting your all into what works and you being the same as everybody else. Just take what works and put it into your all. But don't give your all if you don't know what works. It's only going to hold you back, drain your energy. It doesn't matter what it is. You ever went out there and you try to find a job, so you go knock on, you apply to 100 jobs in a day, you go knock on 20 doors, but you don't get, no one reaches out back to you. That's because that don't work. That don't work. Just applying no more don't work. You have to actually go in, ask for the manager, ask when she'll be there. Then you say, hey, are you hiring? And she'll say either no or she'll say yes. If she say yes, she'll probably say yes, but you have to go apply to this. And you say, okay, I'm gonna go apply. I'm gonna send you an email, or I'm gonna call you when I'm done. And you go home and apply, and then you call and say, yeah, I put the application. I was there yesterday. You told me to apply online. She says, okay, I'm gonna check it. Interview this. If she doesn't reach back out, you reach back until it gets annoying. But it works. That's what works. Just like content. Yeah, you might post every day and you might feel like that's going to be annoying, but it works. To your audience, they like that. They like that they have a new video every day or every week or however often you post, but be consistent. If you're going to post once a week, don't post 4 videos in a week and then don't post for an entire month. You post 1 video a week. If you have 5 videos, don't post them all in a week and then not post for 3 weeks. Post one week, one the next week. If you're going to post 3 videos a week, then do that, but do it consistently. My consistent on average is usually a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday type of post schedule. Sometimes I have 4, Sometimes I have 5 videos in a week, but I normally post at least every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Sometimes I missed yesterday. Or actually, I did post yesterday, so never mind. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are usually my average days. Sometimes I post extra, but I do not post less than that 3 times a week. Even if the days change, I still post at least 3 times a week. That's my goal. I do it consistently. If I put out more, I put out more. But 3 is that minimum. Be consistent. And I've been doing what works. But I did notice I stopped doing what works, and then my growth stopped. And then I wondered, why ain't I got 50 subscribers in a month, but then this next month I only got 14. What happened? I did something that wasn't working. I changed. So just because I was doing what worked at first, I got out of what worked and then I stopped growing. You have to keep doing what works. Be original, be yourself, but keep doing what works with that. Because it doesn't matter how often you do something. Like I said, I went 50 subscribers in a month, then only 14. 50 to 40, yeah, I could get 14 every month. But wouldn't you rather get 50 every month? That's like, would you rather get paid $14 an hour or $50 an hour? You know what I'm saying? Just because something works doesn't mean it's the best. Just because you're giving it your all doesn't mean it's the best. It might work, in a small amount, but what works better? What works and gives you more results? Obviously what I was doing to get me 50 subscribers in a month, right? Obviously what I was doing to pick my subscriber count up last week, right? Because I sat at 69 subscribers for like 2 weeks. And then in 1 week, I finally got up to 75. But I did what works and finally picked back up. Yes, it's slow growth, but even when you have a failure like I did, you get back into what works. You don't quit. You only fail when you quit. When you keep going, but it doesn't work, that's just learning, not failing. And that's the mindset shift you're going to have. Actually, I'm going to make a video on that, but that's the mindset shift you're going to have. That you're going to have to learn instead of thinking that you failed. You're going to have to keep going. When you learn and keep going, you didn't fail. That's all that matters. So take what works, take what you put your all into, and then put what works into your all. Put what works into your all. That's going to take everything you do much further. That's going to give you way better results, make your progress more noticeable. It's going to make you more proud of yourself. And in turn, whatever you're doing is probably either for some type of status, some sort of money, or some sort of relationship goal, whether that be, your parents being proud of you, or a brother being proud of you, or a mentor being proud of you. So it's either for status, money, someone being proud of you, or just personal pleasure. Not in a dirty way, but 4 of those things. Anything you do is going to be for 4 of those things. You're never going to do nothing just to do it. You're going to do something to either make you money, either give you status, make someone notice it, which can in turn go with status, or because it's self-work, self-growth. But it doesn't matter what it is, you're going to do it because of something. Figure out those things and then put what works into your all for that destination. But I know I've been coming at y'all with the short videos recently. I know y'all want the 20 minutes to 30 minutes, but I'm currently in the middle of I actually feel really uncomfortable with my setup. I've tried like 3 different room setups. I might go back to actually in the comments, let me know if you like this one where it's all white, or if you like where I had the curtains behind me and it was like blacked out on the sides. But thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all have a good day, and remember, no matter what happens, as long as you're alive, life goes on.